Okay, hello everyone. Today what I want to do is to read through the article in your book, A Framework for Ethics by Simon Saveright, and just explain some of the ideas for you. I hope it will be useful for you. I hope you can understand my ideas. Okay, so the title is A Framework for Ethics. Now, a framework is another word for a structure. It just means a way of understanding something. From this title, we can see that the writer plans to give us some ideas about the different aspects of what it means to be ethical. What are the questions we should ask ourselves if we want to find out if we are an ethical designer or not? Okay, so first part, you. What are your ethical beliefs? All right, so central to everything you do will be your attitude to people and issues around you. This is a little bit difficult. Central in this sentence is an adjective. It just means really important. The sentence is saying your attitude to people and society will be very important in deciding your actions. You know, the grammar here, English sentences can have many shapes, especially in academic writing. So I can say your attitude to people and issues around you will be central to everything you do. But I can also say central to everything you do will be your attitude to people and issues around you. Okay? For some people, their ethics are an active part of the decisions they make every day as a consumer, a voter, or a working professional. What the writer is saying here is that people make decisions in their lives. For example, what to buy. This is a consumer decision. Who to vote for. This is like politics, you know, in an election. Or what they do in their job. This is their working professional decisions. The writer is saying for some people, when they make these kinds of decisions, thinking about ethics, what is right and wrong or fair and unfair, will be an important part of their thinking when they make these decisions. For example, when people like this, when they buy something, these people think about the product. For example, if they buy a t-shirt, they might care about the material it was made from, the way in which it was made, who worked in the factory, were they fairly treated, was it made in a way that damaged the environment? This might influence their decision about whether to buy it or not. Other people might not be like this. They might just think, do I like the color or is it cheap? Another example, when I vote in an election, you know, like in America for Trump, do I care about the character of the leader, you know, his or her attitude to what is right and wrong and other important ethical issues? Or do I just like the guy? Do I just want to pay lower taxes? You know, this is what he's talking about here. Again, in my work, do I care about right and wrong in what my company or my client do? Or do I just do whatever my boss tells me because he gives me money? This is what he's talking about here. Others may think about ethics very little, and yet this does not automatically make them unethical. The author here is saying that other people, and here I think others means most people, okay? He says they don't think so much about these things. They buy things because they are cheap or they like them. They vote for people because they like what they promise to do for them. And they just do their work, get paid, and don't think about it too much. However, very importantly here, the writer says this does not automatically make them unethical. He is saying that you are not a bad person if you don't think about ethics and right and wrong 24 hours a day. Nobody can be like this. Personal beliefs, lifestyle, politics, nationality, religion, gender, class, or education can all influence your ethical viewpoint. This means that many things affect your ideas about what is right and wrong, what is fair and unfair. They include what you believe as a person, what you think about the government, which country you come from, which religion you believe in, whether you are male or female, rich or poor, well-educated or not. All of these things will influence what you think. Now, there is an interesting grammar point in this sentence. Look at the sentence. The verb part is can all influence. That is the Dongse part, can all influence. Okay, what is the subject, the juyu, for this verb? It is personal beliefs, lifestyle, politics, nationality, religion, gender, class, or education. That is the juyu. Very long, but still it's a juyu. Look at the way the things in this list are all mingzi. They're all nouns. This is very important in English. If even one of these is an adjective or a verb, then the grammar in the sentence will be all wrong. So that's something to please remember when you're thinking about your own writing. Okay, next part, your client. What are your terms? So first, who you choose to work with may affect your ability to stay true to your ethical viewpoint. This can be a confusing sentence for students. Who is used for a question, right? Who are you? Who is that girl? Who is that handsome teacher from Ireland that looks so young? But this sentence is not a question. So what does it mean? We can understand better if we focus on the verb. Here, the verb is may affect, may affect. So, who you choose to work for is the subject in this sentence, okay? We do this in English sometimes. It is another way to organize a sentence. For example, what I want to eat is a big plate of jiaozi. Or, who I'd love to meet is Angela Baby. She is my hero. Not. Anyway, okay. So how about the rest of this sentence? Your ability to stay true to your ethical viewpoint. Your ethical viewpoint means your belief about what is right and wrong, what is fair and unfair. To stay true to something means to do things that are in line with what you believe. You know, to act in a way that reflects what you believe. So overall, the sentence means the people or companies or clients we work for will influence how much we can be ethical in our work. Okay, cigarette companies or arms traders are often cited examples when talking about where a line might be drawn, but rarely are real situations so extreme. Difficult sentence, okay? So, okay, first of all, when we draw a line in English, we say that some action is okay, but some other action is not okay. Okay, for example, my daughter likes video games, and I think it is a good way for her to relax. But I draw the line at violent video games. I won't let her play those. They are bad for her development. Okay, so you understand? That means, I draw the line. I say it's okay to play these video games, but violent video games, that is beyond the line. In our sentence, the meaning is the same as this. It is just used in the passive, the beidong, a line might be drawn. Okay, often cited examples. That just means often mentioned or often discussed. So the sentence is related to the sentence before. It means when we talk about who we will work for, people use the examples of cigarette companies or companies that sell guns and weapons. That's what arms traders means. They sell guns, they sell weapons. To say, I would never work for companies like that. A line would be drawn. Okay, so, but The writer goes on, but rarely are real situations so extreme. He is saying here that these kinds of examples are not going to happen every day. As a designer, a cigarette company will not be offering you work every day. A gun company will not be every day saying, oh, please make me a logo. These are extreme examples and they are rare. Okay? At what point might you turn down a project on ethical grounds, and how much does the reality of having to earn a living affect your ability to choose? Here the writer is asking the question about your ethical beliefs. Ethical grounds means ethical reasons. To turn down a project means to say, no, I won't do that project, I refuse. So at what point sort of means when, or in what situation. So the sentence means, when would you say no to a job because it was against what you thought was right and wrong, or fair and unfair? The second half, how much does the reality of having to earn a living affect your ability to choose? This is the other side of the coin. He is saying, we all need money. This is the reality of having to earn a living. We all need money. And very often that means we might not be able to choose or to do or not to do something. We might just have to do things we don't personally think is ethical, just because my boss tells me to do it and she pays my salary. I cannot choose which work I do and which work I don't do. I am an employee. So he's just saying here, you know, that very often for people, you have to earn a living and ethics cannot be your first consideration. He's asking the question. Okay, let's see. All right, so, okay, your specifications. What are the impacts of your materials? First of all, your specifications. Specifications are the materials you use in any project and the detailed information about the materials. How many, how big, how long, etc. Okay. In recent decades, we have learned that many natural materials are in short supply. Natural materials or natural resources are the things from nature, water, plants, wood, etc. To be in short supply means they are becoming scarce. There is not much left. Inian, binian, shao. Okay? At the same time, we are increasingly aware that some man-made materials can have harmful long-term effects on people or the planet. This is fairly simple, I think. Man-made materials are the things we make in factories, etc. Many of these things can seriously damage our health or the environment. How much do you know about the materials that you use? Do you know where they come from, how far they travel, and under what conditions they are obtained? Again, easy enough, I think. Obtain means get. How do we get these materials? The writer is asking us, as designers, how much do we think about the materials we use when we do our design work? If we never think of them at all, maybe ethics are not very important to us. If we are very concerned about the materials we use, it shows that ethics is something that is important to us. Okay? When your creation is no longer needed, will it be easy and safe to recycle? Again, your creation means the thing you make, the thing you produce. So the writer is saying, when the thing you make isn't used anymore, can it be recycled? Or will it pollute or damage the environment? And finally, are these considerations your responsibility or are they out of your hands? In this article, we see the writer is not really giving his own opinion. He is just asking questions to make the reader think about themselves and what they do, to try to understand the framework of what it means to be ethical as a designer. Here he is asking, is this your responsibility or is it out of your hands? Out of your hands means you can't control it. It is just something that you cannot control. Okay, your creation. What is the purpose of your work? What will your creation achieve? What purpose will it have in society, and will it make a positive contribution? I think this is easy enough to understand. He is saying designers should also think about what they do. What are the things they make for? What do they do in society? Can the work be a good thing for people? Should your work result in more than commercial success or industry awards? Commercial success means something that makes money, that is successful as a business. Industry award means maybe the awards you might get in your industry. For example, fashion will have its own industry awards, Fashion Designer of the Year, etc. Graphic designers will have their awards to recognize the best graphic design work every year. These are industry awards. The writer is asking if you should just aim to make money and win awards, or should you try for something more in your work? Okay. Might your creation help save lives, educate, protect, or inspire people? Here the writer is asking you to think if it is possible that your design work might have a more important purpose in life, to save lives, to educate, to protect, or inspire people. Okay. Form and function are two established aspects of judging a creation, but there is little consensus on the obligations of visual artists and communicators towards society, or the role they might have in solving social or environmental problems. Here, the writer is saying that very often with design works, we focus on form and function. It's how we judge these works. Form is what it looks like, if it is beautiful or not. Function is the job it does. How do we use it? But there is little consensus. This means that people do not agree. Consensus means agreement, a thing that many people believe is consensus, okay? The obligations of visual artists and communicators towards society. This means the responsibility of visual artists, what they should do for society. The writer is asking, could these visual artists be concerned not just with designing useful, beautiful products, but should they also care about social issues or the environment? He's just asking this question. If you want recognition for being the creator, how responsible are you for what you create, and where might that responsibility end? This last question is just asking, as a designer, if you want praise and you want money for your beautiful design work, then should you also be responsible for other aspects of what you make? He is asking, what is the limit of your responsibility? For example, I am a graphic designer. My brief is to make an advertisement to encourage people to buy a gym membership, Jian Shen Fang, the cap. I make an advertisement showing fat people being sad and very unpopular, until they go to the gym and then they transform their life into being a sexy and happy person with other sexy and happy people. It is a really visually interesting advertisement, and it works very well. My design wins a prize in Shanghai, and my client is very happy, and I get extra money. Have I done my job? This is the question. Or should I also care about the thousands of young people who felt terrible and sad and unhappy about their bodies just as a result of my advertisement, which made them feel like a complete loser? It increased their depression. Is that my responsibility? Do I care? That's the question he's asking here. Another example, I am a fashion designer. I design a super cool t-shirt with a very fashionable image on it. It sells hundreds of thousands. I win an award and I get paid extra by my company. But the t-shirt is made from really cheap material, which breaks after a few months, and the material just gets thrown in landfill. The t-shirt was also made by workers who get paid $1 a day in a factory in a developing country. Is that my responsibility? Do I care? Okay, so again, these are issues that the writer is talking about here. He is trying to give us designers a framework for ethics, a way to think about when we do our work. What do we think about as we're doing our work? What do we believe as individuals? Who do we choose to work for? What materials do we use for our work? And what is the purpose of our work? He is not giving answers. He is just giving us a better structure to understand the situation and to ask ourselves these questions. And this can help us to understand what it means to be an ethical designer. It means to be aware of all of these aspects. Okay, I hope this explanation was useful for you and that it gave you a better understanding of this text. I hope you have a better understanding now. Some things you can do after you have listened to me and taken some notes. You can summarize the ideas in each paragraph in your own words. That would be a very good practice. You can think about what you think about each aspect. Okay, what do you think? Are you somebody who worries a lot about ethics and what is right and wrong? You can discuss with your friends on WeChat. What do you think about this? What's your opinion? Or you can write a short essay explaining your opinions on the different aspects the writer talks about in this article. These are all things you can do to really exercise and also to really show your understanding of this article. Okay, that's all. Thank you all very much for your attention. I hope it was useful.